25 years to life for sexually assaulting female patients after drugging them. So this comes just weeks after gynecologist Robert Hadden was sentenced to 20 years in prison for similar sex crimes.
Yeah, last year, a prominent neurosurgeon charged with sexually abusing patients committed suicide while awaiting sentencing. Now, these incidents are prompting patients to demand improved safety protocols at hospitals. So joining us this morning is one of those patients, Laurie Kanyok, who went to the police after she claimed of being sexually assaulted by Robert Hadden. So good morning, Laurie. Thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Yeah, talking about this very sensitive topic, and we want to just warn our viewers that this is a very sensitive subject matter. Now, you and I sat down earlier this year in February to talk about your particular case. We don't want to get too graphic, but can you tell viewers what you actually went through with Dr. Hadden?
In 2011, I was pregnant with my child, and I'd never been pregnant before, and went to Dr. Robert Hadden as a referral, and was geriatric, as they told me. And later on in the pregnancy, I was noticing, or I would leave the visits sort of saying to myself, that felt weird, or that was a little rough, or, you know, things like that. And I was older in age, and it didn't hit me until I had given birth and I was at my postpartum appointment and I was no longer pregnant. And he had done an exam. A nurse was present, full internal exam, the whole bit. And after the nurse left and recorded all of my statistics and whatnot, he then made an excuse and said, oh, I didn't check something. Lay back down. And in that moment, it was sort of like this fear washed over me. And I was naked in a paper gown. And I had my cell phone next to me. And he said, lay back down. And I did, as instructed, as you would. And I put my feet back in the stirrups. And he performed oral sex on me.
Oh, my goodness.
And you're alone. I said it before a second ago. You're alone in a room with a man, and you're naked.
And is it who you think is a trusted doctor?
100%. And you don't think in your wildest dreams, you know, that anything like that could ever happen. And my next sort of mission was to get out of there safely. Get out of the room, get out of the office safely.
You know, this doctor, Robert Hadden, worked at New York Presbyterian Hospital, which is the same hospital system, of course, where Z. Allen Cheng worked in Queens. Of course, now he's arrested for allegedly drugging and assaulting female patients there. When you heard of this new case, right, what was your initial reaction? Did it bring back some of the thoughts of your own case?
I think it's really ironic, and not to make light of it, but I feel like this sort of predatory behavior with physicians is popping up like weeds now. And when I learned of this one, as you said, the same hospital system, it's disappointing to me because I called the police 11 years ago, and we just got a little bit of justice now. And after I did phone the police, or the 911, and went through that whole process, which took me away from my child for the entire day. She was 6 weeks old. Nothing was done, and he assaulted people after I notified the authorities. So the question...
And not just one or two, multiple.
And we know them by name, you know, and it's really unnerving that you teach your children to contact the authorities if you notice, witness, or receive something, you know, criminal behavior, and you do that, and what happens? So the fact that it's the same hospital with Cheng and the same type of crime, I'm hoping that this is a sign and a scream for
change. New York Presbyterian did release a statement saying that the hospital is reviewing its numerous stringent patient safety policies and protocols for potential areas of improvement. The spokesperson also said that the hospital is also providing additional training for all its employees. Is that enough, in your opinion?
I think we need to demand safeguards. You know, I think it's time. You know, it's what my story that I just said was. She was there. This person was in the room, and then they left, and then the crime was committed, and this is what's happening. So there's really no other way around it.
So you're advocating for patients to be accompanied during so many of these medical visits, right?
Absolutely.
And so how are you seeing any movement or change? Because you're not just talking about one hospital system. You're talking about
It's
across the
worldwide.
board.
Yeah, it is. Sadly, I don't know how we make this a mandated, you know.
And you're talking, just to be clear, to
Protocol?
have like that nurse in the room.
Absolutely. You know, it's not only the safety of the patients, it's the safety of the physician,
Yeah.
right? So it makes sense. You know, this is too much. It's repeated over
Yeah.
and over, and I don't understand why we're not active in this right now.
I mean, because what are as a patient, what are our rights going into a doctor's office,
That's a great question.
right?
That's a great question.
And that's really frightening to think this is somebody that you trust, especially as a mother of 2 daughters, thinking that they're going into a doctor's office as they get older. They think that they should trust a doctor.
So I did too. I'd seen doctors all over the world and never had an experience like that.
So
Thank
what is it like
goodness.
for you now?
Well, you know, I have an 11-year-old, and I started this journey when she was in utero, really, but then when she was 6 weeks old. Now she's 11. I'm facing this with her now, like you do with your daughters. And I sadly had to say to her last night, you will not see a male physician unless you are with another
Yeah.
person in the room. I hate having to say that,
Yeah.
but it is where we are.
Yeah, well, it's eye-opening. I'm a single parent of a daughter, so one day she's gonna say, "Dad, I don't want you in the room," and so it's gonna be interesting to see how all of that plays out. In your specific case, the case was dropped, and you were urged to take a settlement.
Yes.
And so for you, you know, looking at what we're seeing today now with the new case, is there? I don't even know how to ask this. Is there any advice you have for the patients who went through what you went through?
You know, my case, when I came forward, it was pre-Me Too.
Yeah.
And we weren't as keenly aware
Yeah.
of things back then. And it's sad, it really is sad that I was hushed. I was hushed. They really wanted me to just go away, and it was said repeatedly to me, do this, you're a single mom, do this, and go raise your daughter. It was primitive, you know, it was
Yeah.
sort of degrading.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I'm here because I have to be. For my daughter, for your daughter, for your daughters.
Yes.
We have to. And I don't know that the hospital, obviously they didn't do enough. Why did it take 11 years to get to this point? Why are we now seeing things?
Yeah, how is it
move?
able to happen again? Well, Laurie, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
bravery and for advocating
I
for
appreciate
patient
it.
rights. We
I appreciate it. Thank you.